following the allegation of privacy infringement leveled against Cambridge Analytica in the role it played in the last election of the United States and Kenya, Nigeria is now also making findings about the role of the data mining firm in the two last general elections in the country. According to a source in the presidency, the federal government has set up a committee to determine whether the firm's work for the then ruling party, the People's Democratic Party, in 2007 and 2015 general elections campaign infringed on the rights of other parties and their candidates. The source also reveals that the outcome of the investigation might result into the government appointing a special investigator and possibly criminal prosecutions by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami. A whistleblower, Christopher Whaley, who worked with a Cambridge University academia to obtain the data, had revealed how the firm exploited Facebook to harvest millions of people's profiles, including that of President Muhammadu Buhari. The senior special assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, denies knowledge of any such investigation, but describes it as a welcome idea. The President's media aide insists Nigerians deserve answers from the PDP administration, Facebook and Cambridge Analytica on why they used data to interfere in Nigeria's elections. The governor of Kogi State has vowed to bring to book those behind clashes between farmers and herdsmen in the state, which have led to incessant killings and destruction of property. Governor Bello made the vow in the Government House, Lokoja, during a meeting between representatives of both groups, where he reaffirmed his administration's commitment to ensuring that citizens, irrespective of religion and ethnic background, live in peace.
The clash between herdsmen and farmers that erupted some weeks ago at Basa, Dekina and Omala local government areas of Kogi State is the reason for this meeting at the instance of the state governor. The intention is to find a lasting solution to the conflict, which has so far led to loss of lives and property on both sides. The chief of staff to the governor tells the gathering the stance of the state government on the matter.
There is no doubt that His Excellency has put what we call tremendous resources, time, energy in ensuring that all citizens and residents in Kogi State live in harmony, in peace, and for development, and to make resources of their own little living.
All parties represented are given a chance to air their grievances.
In my own area, sir, this is the first time we witness this thing in Akumere. We have been living in peace. The Fulani in our area, they are up to 40, 45 years. They are not hearing of this.
We have the record, the authentic record, that we can give you the names of the owners of the cows and the names of the people trade, and they are listening. The total is 138 cows, then 7 lives. We have not seen 4 bodies. 4 bodies are still missing.
The state governor reminds all present that every Nigerian is entitled to equal citizenship, regardless of origin.
It is done before, and the previous administration or administrations decided to turn their eyes and attention away from it. The current administration under my watch, I will not turn away my eyes.
After the deliberations, the governor promises to set up a panel of inquiry. He also asks the State Commissioner of Police to take those fingered as suspects for further investigation.
The residents of Odume in Obosi, Idemili North local government area of Anambra State are applauding the developmental strides of the governor, Willie Obiano, in providing solutions to the erosion challenges in the area. The governor assured the people of the state of his administration's commitment at a rally organized to demonstrate the appreciation of the locals.
Erosion in Udome layout, Obosi Idemili North local government of Anambra State, had gone from bad to worse. But now the administration of Governor Willie Obiano came on board and tackled the erosion problem, built over 10 roads that connected the layout, as well as handed over 3 transformers. the residents hold a thank you rally. After several speeches of commendation by residents, the chairman of Udome Central Landlords Association and the vicar of Emmanuel Anglican Parish sum up the people's gratitude.
More than 700,000 people is under this Udome Central Landlords Association. So we are thanking him. Major aim of this thing is to thank him, to show appreciation.
The governor is not just a politician, he's a humanitarian, he's somebody, he's a philanthropist, he's somebody that has a concern and passion for people who's ruling. So thank God for him. So just to say thank you, appreciation.
The governor congratulates the residents and discloses that it took over 2 billion naira to arrest the erosion devastation.
Of the erosion was about 10-story building. If you drop a 10-story building inside the erosion sites, it will swallow it. You know, and when I visited there, I felt very concerned. Although I spoke to people there then that I was going to work on that area immediately, but I'm sure they thought I was playing politics. You know, but that place cost us about 2.3 billion.
While the people vow to ensure that the projects are protected, they call on the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company to complement the efforts of the government by increasing their services to support socio-economic activities in the area.
Following the confirmation of the Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee members by the National Assembly, investors can now heave a sigh of relief as the first MPC meeting of the year holds next week. Ahead of the meeting, however, Channels Television's business correspondent Temple Ashadu examines the implications of the just-formed quorum.
The MPC is the statutory body of the central bank responsible for the formulation of monetary policies in relation to interest rates, inflation and exchange rates. The meeting holds every other month with the CBN governor, 4 deputies and 7 external members based on a quorum of 6 members of the 12-man committee.
Our Deputy Governor of Corporate Services, today I think he leads this group. He is going to be bowing out by sometime this month, and I thought I should seize this opportunity to really thank him for an excellent work, for a good job that has been done in the last 10 years.
Half of the committee members retired last year, making it necessary for a list of President Muhammadu Buhari nominees to be confirmed by the National Assembly. As a result of the delay in approval process, the first 2 meetings in 2018 failed to hold. After several persuasions from domestic and external bodies, the Senate finally approved the list, leaving out 1 nominee and making it possible for the meeting to hold on Tuesday the 3rd to Wednesday the 4th of April.
Members of the board are not screened. I know the Senate, in its magnanimity, will extend that and then go up to clear other nominees. The time we have for legislative work is not real much again.
Although the failure of the 2 scheduled meetings had no negative impact on the economy, the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, in a statement, says the CBN operating optimally once again. With the committee now formed, investors' expectations are high, with anticipated impact on foreign investors' confidence, investment decision-taking, and a possible monetary easing for credit creation. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
Well, for more perspective on that is Babajide Ogunstowo, Channels Television's data analyst. He joins us for more on the news at 10. And it's interesting. I didn't know it was a drinking spree on the news at 10 this evening.
If we're going to have to work during this Easter, we might as well celebrate as much as we can here.
Interesting. Well, in about another 72 hours or so, the MPC, Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank, will be meeting to discuss the economy, make critical policy decisions, especially on the benchmarked lending rate. What are the likely factors that could influence this decision?
So I don't know about likely factors, but I know about one factor that the CBN can take that would influence what will happen. One factor that the CBN should take. One factor that the CBN must take, Millicent. Now, what is this factor? It's to be able to reduce the poisonous cocktail that Nigerians drink. Now, what is this poisonous cocktail? And I'll explain. I'll try and make you a drink. It's Easter, and we know a lot of people give alms, offerings, tithes. Even followers of Prophet Muhammad do give during this period. But here's the fact. Approximately 10% of our income goes to giving. Here's the interesting thing. The National Bureau of Statistics says another 13% of our income goes to paying bribes. 13%. The central bank says 15% of our income is lost due to inflation. And if your income isn't sufficient, like a lot of us, and you do want to get a loan from the bank, you might be paying as much as 25, 30%. Now this is, Millicent, you could have a taste of this. This is the mixture Nigerians drink every day. And the CBN has the right to reduce the concentration of this potent mix by doing two things. The last two things, interest rates and inflation rates. By managing those, we can reduce the concentration of this poisonous drink. And within the next 72 to 100 hours, we'll find out what the decision of the CBN will be. That is the challenge facing us. We need to reduce the concentration of this poisonous drink.
How about the cost of borrowing and perhaps making people have more access to credit?
Again, let's first of all, before we talk about access to credit, quickly understand the three causes of the economic migraine the CBN faces. The first is unemployment and underemployment rate is above 40%. Lending rate is as high as 31%. Inflation rate high as 15%. So it is extremely hard to be able to bring down credit for SMEs to access. But here's what we need to focus on. And those are the three things that has happened since May 2015. Again, I think it is because of the smell of this drink. Let's look at the three critical things. The CBN has met 15 times since this government came in. Only once in November 2015 has it reduced the benchmark rate called the MPR. But it has raised that benchmark rate twice. March and July 2016. The question right now is, will the CBN either leave the rate unchanged, reduce it, or perhaps increase it? Well, here's what I think. My brain tells me that the CBN will leave the rate unchanged. And that's because inflation rate is still way above double digits. That is what my brain tells me. But Millicent, here's what my heart tells me. My heart tells me that the CBN will reduce the rate. And that's because to be able to shake the hands of the government wants to grow the economy. Right now, the economy is growing below 1%. So though my brain tells me the rate will remain unchanged, my heart tells me that the CBN will bring down the rates. Which should I follow, Millicent? Should I follow my heart or should I follow my brain?
Finally, will the upcoming election have any influence with the results, the decisions?
Now, that's an interesting one. Let's look at two elections that held, 2011 and 2015. 10 months to the 2011 election, June 2012, the monetary policy rate was 6%. The rate did not go down. By when the 20 elections held, the rate had gone to 8%. May 2014, again, 10 months to the election, monetary policy rate didn't go down. It went from 12% to 13% by when we had the elections. Right now, monetary policy rate is 14%. Is the monetary policy rate going to come down? I've told you what my brain and my heart thinks. But what the NPC and the NPC committee should focus on is when they talk about the monetary policy committee, what Nigerians really understand is the other NPC, and that is money. Please come. The CBN needs to do everything because Nigerians are saying money.
Thank you so
much. Please
come.
Come.
Thank you, Mr. Babajide Augustin, World Channels TV's data analyst, for joining us on the news at 10.
Don't forget to have your drink.
No, it's poisonous. Thank you. Still to come on the news at 10, Anthony Joshua vows to knock out the last remaining WBC heavyweight champion, Deontay Wilder, after defeating Joseph Parker on points in their unification clash. That's in sports news. Stay with us.